Hi, I'm Courtney, and in this video I'm going to talk about invention strategies, what they are, and how we can use them in the classroom. Invention, in and of itself, the word, means to create something. And so in the context of an English classroom, invention strategies really are just strategies used to create topics to write papers about or do a writing assignment about. And they're ways, they're techniques to get the student or the writer, whoever they may be, just to get them working through their thoughts, their ideas, and kind of come up with a topic to write a paper about. Some examples of invention strategies that you have probably used yourself would be brainstorming, journaling, free writing, using a prompt. It's really just anything that is there to help the writer first actually start writing, and second, kind of begin to develop all of their ideas and form some kind of overall focus of a writing assignment like an essay. Journaling is a great way for students to actually start practicing the art of writing, and they can do so with freedom. They don't need to worry that they're going to be graded on, spelling or grammar, punctuation, like they would be graded on their other assignments. And so they can really just be free, be themselves, and they can write about anything. It has therapeutic properties associated with it, and it really is just a great way to get your students engaged and having fun. In 2017, Jenkins and Clark did a study about journaling, and instead of using the traditional method with pencil and paper, they decided to think of new creative ways to go about it. They did interpretive dance, they did photo journaling, they did, drawing pictures, things like that, just kind of taking a creative spin on it. Another way you could go about it with photo journaling is like short video journaling, think Instagram or Snapchat. These are technologies that students are already using today, probably, and so you're kind of meeting them where they're at, and you're using something that they already know about, they're already good at, and kind of using that, bringing that into the classroom and having them use it for a journaling assignment. And another suggestion from Jenkins and Clark was about a classroom blog, and I thought that this could be an interesting way to kind of include everyone. It could almost be like a discussion board post. One student a week could write the blog post, knowing that everyone's going to read it, so obviously wanting, focusing on spelling and punctuation and stuff, but they are journaling, sharing their thoughts with the class can all comment, and obviously it would be moderated by the teacher, but that could really be utilized in a classroom as well. And writing down thoughts and feelings with a journal is great and therapeutic. But another way that it could be used in the classroom is maybe more focused on something specific and concrete. Jenkins and Clark kind of focused on, presenting something concrete to the students, and then the students then turning around and analyzing it through a journal entry. So the concrete thing would be a lesson being taught by the teacher, for example, and the students could then, in their journal article for the day, focus it on that lesson and analyze it, reflect on it, maybe rewrite it in their own words so that they're actually getting a better understanding of what was taught while they're also practicing their writing skill and their higher order thinking skills as well. Brainstorming and clustering are two different invention strategies that I personally use, and if you've ever brainstormed, then you probably know what these are, but a quick refresher. Brainstorming and clustering, I actually kind of use them interchangeably because they're quite similar, I think. But basically, it's just you write down as much as you can about a specific topic. In the textbook by Glenn and Goldthwait, they use the word afraid for clustering. You write afraid on a piece of paper, and then you just write down everything that comes to mind, and then you begin to cluster your thoughts together. And brainstorming is similar, but it's more, you just write down everything you can think of about something, and then at the end of it, you kind of start clustering things together and forming a coherent topic that you can then write an essay about. In 2017, there was a study done about brainstorming and convergence teams. Basically, they got a group of students together and they would brainstorm individually, and then they would converge into teams and they would discuss the things that they brainstormed so that they could bounce ideas off of their peers, they could get peer feedback, they could discuss their ideas, their concerns, their thoughts about their topics, what they basically did during their brainstorming sessions by themselves, and then getting together in a team just really helped them see their ideas from someone else's perspective and formulate an even stronger topic that they could then write their essay about. Another way a teacher can help their student with invention strategies and coming up with topics for their paper would be, say that you're like in a history class, you're teaching a history class, and you have students who just could care less about history. Kind of teach them how to brainstorm ideas, still focusing on the major topic of the paper. Say they have to write a paper on the Civil War or something like that. They can still write about the Civil War, but they don't have to write about the fighting or what they think what might be expected of them. Teach them how to kind of think for themselves and think about what do they like and how can they incorporate that into what they actually have to write their paper about. So say you have a student who loves fashion, they could write about the fashion in the times of the Civil War. Or if you have a student who loves cars or motorcycles, you could have them write their paper about transportation in Civil War times and how people moved from one place to another. Just, those aren't the greatest examples, but you get the idea. Just kind of helping them to realize that they don't have to just write about what they think is expected of them. They can tailor every assignment to something that they actually are interested in so that they can learn about something while also just continuing to learn about something they already are passionate about. That will make for better writing, that will make for better reading for the teacher, and it will actually help them find an interest in the topic that you are trying to teach them. When I was in school, I was one of those students who loved working by myself. And when the teacher would say get into groups, I was always so upset because I just wanted to do it my way, my own thoughts, my own ideas. I didn't want to have to talk with other people about what they think we should do. I wanted to do it my way. But as I've gotten older, I have fallen in love with the group dynamic and working with others, and especially small groups. And so with some of the invention strategies I've talked about, there have been, working by yourselves and then working with groups. But not just with invention strategies, with any topic that you teach, in any assignment. Try to think of ways where you can let the student get some independence and some work on their own by themselves, but also a time where they can converge and get into teams, or even just kind of bounce ideas back and forth. They don't have to work together in teams, but they can communicate and they can talk about their ideas and get feedback and maybe see someone else's perspective on it, and that can just kind of get the ball rolling and I could go at it from this angle or this angle. And that in and of itself, communication, talking with other people, should be an invention strategy all by itself, because when you start hearing other people's opinions, it suddenly is like, oh yeah, that's a good idea, I'm gonna go with it. So I think throughout all of your teaching endeavors, always try to find a way, whether you're teaching a writing class in college or a history class or PE, try to differentiate it enough to where students can work by themselves, but they always do get a chance to communicate with others, because that is where growth really happens, I think. And that should be our number one goal as educators, to try and make our students grow into the people that they're supposed to become. Thanks for watching.